Hello, this is Frank, and we're now moving on to the CDL Class A tanker endorsement. This test is designed for commercial drivers who need to operate vehicles carrying liquid cargo in bulk tanks. It covers essential knowledge about liquid surge, vehicle stability, safe loading and unloading procedures, and the unique handling characteristics of tanker vehicles. Let's get straight into the questions. What is the primary purpose of baffles in a cargo tank? Baffles reduce liquid movement during starts, stops, and turns. These internal dividers help control the dangerous surge forces that can push your vehicle forward at stops or cause instability during maneuvers. Moving on, what is a major hazard of driving with a partially filled tanker? Increased liquid surge raises rollover risk. When a tank isn't completely full, the liquid has more room to move, creating stronger surge forces that can destabilize your vehicle, especially in curves and during sudden maneuvers. Next question. What does outage mean when loading a tank? Outage means leaving empty space for liquid expansion. This space is crucial because liquids expand when heated, and without proper outage, the expanding liquid could rupture the tank or cause dangerous spills. Let's continue. When must you allow outage? You must allow outage when the liquid can expand with temperature changes. Most liquids will expand as they warm up during transport, so proper outage prevents overpressure and potential tank damage. Time for the next question. How should you stop a tanker to reduce the effect of surge? Brake early and smoothly. This gradual deceleration gives the liquid time to settle gradually rather than slamming forward all at once, which helps maintain vehicle control and stability. Next up, before entering a curve you should reduce speed to a safe level. Taking curves too fast in a tanker can cause the liquid to shift to one side, raising the center of gravity and dramatically increasing rollover risk. Let's see what's next. Why do tank vehicles have a higher rollover risk? They have a high center of gravity. The liquid load sits high off the ground, and when it shifts during turns or lane changes, it can easily cause the vehicle to tip over. Here's another one. What does a smooth bore tank typically produce? A smooth bore tank produces strong forward and backward surge. Without baffles to break up the liquid's movement, the entire load can shift as one mass, creating powerful surge forces. Continuing on, where must placards be displayed when required for bulk liquids? Placards must be displayed on all four sides of the vehicle. This ensures that emergency responders and other drivers can identify hazardous materials from any angle. Moving on, during a pre-trip inspection, what should you check on manhole covers and gaskets? Check for tight seal and good condition. Any damage or poor sealing could lead to dangerous leaks or vapor releases during transport. Next question. Unbaffled tanks are commonly used for which products? Unbaffled tanks are commonly used for food-grade liquids such as milk. These smooth bore tanks can be thoroughly cleaned and sanitized, which is essential for maintaining food safety standards. Let's continue. When unloading with a pump, what must you monitor closely? Monitor hoses and connections for leaks. Even small leaks can become major spills quickly when pumping under pressure, potentially causing environmental damage or safety hazards. Time for the next question. What following distance is best for a tanker? Extra space due to longer stopping distance. The surge effect and high center of gravity mean tankers need more time and distance to stop safely than other commercial vehicles. Next up, when loading multiple compartments you should distribute weight to keep axles within legal limits. Proper weight distribution prevents overloading individual axles and helps maintain vehicle stability and legal compliance. Let's see what's next. Before moving a tanker, dome lids and hatches must be closed and secured. Open or loose covers can allow product to spill during transport and may violate safety regulations. Here's another one. Liquid surge during a stop can push the vehicle forward in the intersection. The momentum of the liquid continues forward even after the vehicle stops, potentially pushing you into cross traffic if you haven't allowed enough stopping distance. Continuing on a steep downgrade you should select a lower gear before the grade. Using engine braking helps control speed without overheating your service brakes, which is especially important with the added weight and surge forces of liquid cargo. Moving on, after unloading you should close all valves and secure caps before moving. This prevents any residual product from leaking during transport and ensures compliance with safety regulations. Next question. When required by law at a railroad crossing with bulk liquids you should stop and proceed only when the crossing is clear. Many hazardous materials require a complete stop at railroad crossings to ensure safe passage. Let's continue. If a minor product leak occurs during loading, you should Stop the transfer and notify appropriate personnel. Even small leaks can quickly become major incidents, so immediate action prevents escalation and ensures proper cleanup procedures are followed. Time for the next question. When planning a lane change in a tanker, you should make gradual steering inputs. Smooth, gradual movements prevent the liquid from sloshing violently from side to side, maintaining vehicle stability. Next up, a tank with bulkheads and no baffles will reduce overall liquid movement compared to one large smooth bore. Bulkheads divide the tank into separate compartments, limiting how much liquid can surge at once. Let's see what's next. Side-to-side surge is most noticeable when changing lanes or using off-ramps. These lateral movements cause the liquid to shift sideways, potentially causing rollover if taken too quickly. Here's another one. Before loading, how do you confirm the correct product and quantity? Match shipping papers to tank identification and capacity. This verification prevents dangerous mix-ups and ensures you don't exceed weight limits. Continuing on, what is the purpose of venting devices on a cargo tank? Venting devices prevent excessive pressure or vacuum. These safety devices protect the tank structure by releasing pressure buildup or preventing vacuum formation during loading and unloading. Moving on, when carrying a partial load in an unbaffled tank, you should avoid sudden stops and reduce speed. Partial loads create the worst surge conditions, requiring extra caution in all driving maneuvers. Next question. On wet roads, tanker drivers should reduce speed and increase following distance. Wet conditions reduce traction, and combined with surge forces, this significantly increases stopping distances and rollover risk. Let's continue. During pre-trip, what should you check on product piping and valves? Check for leaks and proper operation. Faulty valves or leaking pipes can cause product loss and create serious safety hazards. Time for the next question. When turning at an intersection, the best method is to brake to a safe speed before the turn. Braking while turning shifts weight and liquid simultaneously, greatly increasing rollover risk. Next up, emergency shutoff controls are used to close product flow quickly in an emergency. These controls allow immediate stopping of product transfer if a leak, spill, or other emergency occurs. Let's see what's next. When parking a loaded tanker on a grade, you should set parking brakes and chock wheels. The extra weight and potential for liquid movement make proper securing essential to prevent runaway vehicles. Here's another one. How can wind affect a tank vehicle? Strong crosswinds can increase rollover risk. The large surface area of tankers makes them especially vulnerable to being pushed over by strong side winds. Continuing on, proper hose handling during loading includes supporting hoses to prevent strain on fittings. Proper support prevents connection failures that could cause major spills during transfer operations. Moving on, why should you avoid overfilling a tank? Thermal expansion can cause spills. When liquid heats up and expands in an overfilled tank, it has nowhere to go except out through vents or ruptures. Next question. Approaching a stop sign with a tanker, you should begin braking sooner than with a dry van. The surge effect and increased weight require extra stopping distance to come to a safe, controlled stop. Let's continue. What is the best way to accelerate from a stop in a tanker? Smoothly and gradually. Gentle acceleration prevents the liquid from surging backward, which could cause loss of traction or vehicle instability. Time for the next question. Why can a full load be more stable than a partially filled tank? There is less free surface for liquid movement. When a tank is full, the liquid has minimal room to surge, making the vehicle more predictable to handle. Next up, after tightening a leaking fitting, what should you do? Verify that the leak has stopped. Visual confirmation ensures the repair was successful and prevents continued product loss or safety hazards. Let's see what's next. Before a long downgrade, how do you test brakes? Apply the brakes lightly to confirm response. This check ensures your brakes are working properly before you need them for the sustained braking required on the grade. Here's another one. When is it acceptable to leave compartment valves open? Only when actively loading or unloading is required. Keeping valves closed at all other times prevents cross-contamination and accidental product release. Continuing on, how should you respond to a skid in a tanker? Stop braking and steer in the direction you want to go. This technique helps regain control while accounting for the liquid surge that can worsen a skid. Moving on, why should you know the specific gravity of the liquid you haul? It affects weight and stopping distance. Denser liquids mean more weight in the same volume, requiring adjustments to your driving technique and longer stopping distances. Next question. How can you reduce continuing surge after coming to a stop? Keep steady brake pressure until movement stops. Maintaining brake pressure prevents the surge from rocking the vehicle forward after the initial stop. Let's continue. What is best practice when connecting transfer hoses? Use correct gaskets and secure clamps fully. Proper connections prevent leaks during high-pressure transfer operations and ensure safe, efficient loading or unloading. Time for the next question. When must a tank be grounded or bonded during transfer? When required for flammable liquids to prevent static. Static electricity can ignite flammable vapors, so proper grounding eliminates this dangerous spark source. Next up, why avoid sudden downshifts in a curve with a tanker? It can upset balance and increase rollover risk. The combination of engine braking forces and liquid surge during a curve can easily cause a rollover. Let's see what's next. What should you do if a tank vent is clogged? Do not load or unload until it is repaired. A clogged vent can cause dangerous pressure buildup or tank collapse from vacuum formation. Here's another one. What is the safest practice when approaching an off-ramp with a tanker? Slow to a safe speed well before the ramp. Off-ramps often have sharp curves that require much lower speeds than the highway, especially with liquid surge forces. Continuing on, how do you verify a compartment is empty before disconnecting hoses? Check gauges and visually confirm if possible. This double check prevents spills from residual product when breaking connections. Moving on, during a post-trip inspection with a tanker you should inspect for leaks and secure the vehicle. This final check ensures no problems develop during the trip and that the vehicle is safely parked. Next question. What is a recommended loading pattern to reduce surge? Keep compartments either full or empty when possible. Partially filled compartments create the most dangerous surge conditions, so avoiding them improves stability. Let's continue. Why is smooth steering important in tank vehicles? Sudden inputs can cause dangerous side-to-side surge. Jerky steering movements create lateral surge that can quickly lead to rollover, especially at highway speeds. Time for the next question. What extra item should you verify on a gasoline trailer? Verify vapor recovery system condition. These systems prevent harmful vapors from escaping during loading and unloading, protecting both the environment and worker safety. Next up, what should you consider about overall vehicle height? Include dome covers and hose carriers in clearance. These components often extend above the tank itself and must be considered when checking bridge and overpass clearances. And that completes this practice test. Great job working through these questions.